Welcome to Singularity University's Global Summit. My name is Will Weisman. I have the great pleasure of getting to be your host for the next 3 days. So I'm here because, like so many of you, I believe in my core that an abundant world is possible in the not too distant future. And I want to do everything that I can do to help bring that to fruition. To me, that looks like a world where we feed everyone, where we educate everyone, where we shelter everyone. A world where people feel safe and they feel they have a fair shot at living a good life. A world where there are mechanisms to help curb our deficiencies and overcome our most base impulses. The data says we're going in the right direction. Poverty is down, and while bumpy, democracy is up. Literacy rates are continuing to rise, and child mortality is continuing to decrease. There continue to be sustained advances in education and increasing vaccination rates. We're making good progress, but there's still so much to be done, right? The gap between where we are and where we want to be and can be is still enormous. So how do we get there? I think it's through creating the future together. It's about us, about people. That's how we'll get there, and that's the only way we'll get there. We need to do this work together, right? It's more than any one person, organization, industry, or nation can do alone. But together, we can really move worlds. So over the next 3 days, we're going to share some ideas about how this can happen. And it starts by reimagining what the world can look like. How the combination of people, new ideas, and evolving technologies can help create a more abundant future for this planet and all its inhabitants. We know that it won't be easy, right? And it won't be without risk, it won't be without missteps, and it won't be without pain. But we don't have a choice, right? We have to move forward. Today, humans face one of the most exciting and most daunting challenges in our relatively short history. We must transition from a mindset where we frequently think primarily of ourselves to one where we realize we're part of a complex ecosystem, where we must work together and in harmony with the natural world, because only that is sustainable. What's exciting is that this new way of operating is increasingly feasible today. Right? And with an activated and engaged populace, our politicians are going to have no choice but to come along. So if we choose to fund a smaller military and improve the quality of education, if we choose to build less coal power plants and build more renewables, if we choose to invest more in infrastructure and provide less tax breaks, we can make rapid progress. It comes down to the political will to allocate our planet's abundant resources in a different and more equitable and sustainable way. But transitions are hard, right? Anyone who has left home to attend school or started a new job or left a challenging relationship to find something better knows this. It's scary. It requires grit and fortitude to power through a period of unease, to find your new place and reach a new equilibrium. And that's just for an individual. So transitioning an entire world to a better way of operating is even harder, right? So many governments with so many different priorities and challenges. And this is where we stand today, in transition between an old way and a new way. And most governments are not leading the way. But that's where we come in. At Singularity University, we're all about providing change makers like you with the mindset, tool set, and network to empower you to build creative solutions that will help see us through this journey that we all have to make. The Global Summit is our most important annual gathering, right? It's where we bring together our extraordinary community. The group that is gathered here today, and it's part of our almost 1 million strong tribe, are creating new ideas to solve problems and then turning those ideas into reality. For as we see over and over again, it's the ideas that are the easy part, and it's the doing that is so hard. And this community of doers has had a pretty amazing year. We've seen some extraordinary things. We've seen 3D printing on the space station, microsatellites by the hundreds being launched. We've seen new ways of living sustainably, and we've seen new breakthroughs in energy production, computing, education, and so much more. The people in this community are truly amazing, and it's why it's such an honor for me to get to be part of it. So what drives this expanding community to come together for 3 days every year? I believe it's because we share a basic desire to want to create a better world. We know we can't wait for others to lead, that we, this community, have to be the ones to help drive the world forward. I believe you also know that we're at a crossroads, right? The stakes have never been higher. You understand that we have disconnected ourselves from nature and failed to understand that we are inextricably connected and depend on each other's wellness to thrive as a whole. I've gotten to know Paul Stamets, the famed mycologist, over the last few years and learned through him about how mycelium helps connect disparate species of plants and trees to share resources and keep everyone thriving. For a healthy ecosystem requires all parts of it to be operating efficiently and effectively. And by helping the most fragile or weakest survive and thrive, the entire ecosystem does better. So everyone must do well if everyone is ultimately going to do great. Right? And that's how we have to look at the world today. We all need to do well in order for all of us as a whole to be doing great. To move to this new way of operating, we have to shift our mindset. And that is one of the key issues that's facing us. Where many are stuck in this old mindset of scarcity and fear, where you must lose so that I can gain more, where I can only gain enough if you don't have enough. You may have seen this quote from Gus Speth that's been circulating and really resonated with me. I want to share it with you. I used to think the top environmental problems were biodiversity loss, ecosystem collapse, and climate change. The top environmental problems are selfishness, greed, and apathy. And to deal with these, we need a cultural and spiritual transformation. And we scientists don't know how to do that. The good news is that there are many, many people who are realizing now that a mindset is absolutely critical to solving this problem, and they are working hard to help us make that leap. It's people like our own Nicole Bradford, who's looking at how technology allows us to transform our thinking, our performance, and to find peace and grace within ourselves. It's people like Rick Doblin, who are working to heal those who have been hurt so that we can break the cycle where hurt people hurt more people. Healing humanity is a critical part of helping us reach a world of abundance. We need a massive upgrade to our global operating system, right? Because the world has changed. What is possible has changed dramatically. And for the first time in human history, if we can evolve our ways of thinking and acting, we can realize dramatic improvements and attain a quality of life that's never been feasible before. That's one of the key reasons for our existence here at Singularity University. We're a benefit corporation, as many of you know, with a mission to educate, inspire, and empower leaders to apply exponential technologies to address humanity's grand challenges. We believe that the future is created by the actions that we take as a whole and the impact that we make today, together, right? Fusing our best intentions with astounding innovations to help us create a future that we can be proud of. So our two founders, Ray Kurzweil and Peter Diamandis, knew over a decade ago that the world was about to go through something extraordinary, right? They realized we were entering this period of unparalleled innovation and disruption that was being driven by accelerating technological change, and that most of the world had no idea that this was coming. So SU was created to play its small part in helping move humanity through this period of transition. Peter Diamandis, who we're going to hear from in just a little bit, is a daring entrepreneur, an author, an innovator, and he frequently talks about using technology to solve truly massive problems and create massive businesses. He dreams big and reminds us that we're only limited by the scope of our vision and our willingness to take risks. So Ray Kurzweil is the other half of our founding equation. You'll hear from him tomorrow. And he is a brilliant and accomplished innovator, author, and a director of engineering at Google. It was really Ray's insights around the exponential growth of information technology that was the initial impetus behind the founding of SU. So this organization that started as a dream 11 years ago and brings us together today is now a community with over, or just around 1 million people in over 159 countries around the world. We've created 62 companies, educated over 200,000 people, and driven over 5,000 impact initiatives. So because of you, because of this community, because of the extraordinary technological changes that are taking place in the world, I truly believe that great things lie ahead for humanity. And it's through the insights and actions of individuals like you that we will create the future that we so desperately need and so desperately deserve. So I want to thank you for being part of the community, and thank you for being part of this event today as we kick off Singularity University's Global Summit. Welcome, enjoy, and thank you.